Is Police Simulator Patrol Officers worth our time? We're about to find out. Welcome everyone to episode 235 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, well, Tom, is it okay to be a beat cop in this time?
I think so. It'll give us a chance to relive some Police Academy.
Yeah, in a way, maybe.
We're going to make our own comedy of errors.
Yeah, of errors, for sure. Police Simulator Patrol Officers, developed by Aesir Interactive. Now, this game came out multi-platform, multi-release, no, not multi-release, single release on November 2022 on the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series consoles.
It's a pretty thorough.
Yeah, they made sure to cast a wide net for this game.
You need to capture all the potential people who want to play as police officers.
Capture them, perps.
Oh, that too.
Yeah. Well, I play this on the PC. 12.68 gigabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
Larger on the Series S, 13.44 gigabytes.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I guess that's the police budget bloat for you on the series consoles. I don't know. Well, let's get to it. What this is, Tom. What kind of game is this?
I put very boringly third-person simulation.
Yeah, well, I just stole from the name of the title. I put third-person police simulator.
It is true.
It's right in the name. I appreciate that.
I don't know that police simulator is a genre, though, Chris. That's very specific.
Fine. I got off the rails here. All right, cuff me, Tom. All right, write me a ticket.
How many other third-person police simulators are there, Chris?
Maybe there might be. We haven't played.
Yeah, that's fair. There are a lot of games out there in the
world.
I
don't know if you remember Police SWAT. We played that many moons.
Oh, yeah, and that would. But see, that was a first-person action game.
This is yeah. I mean, I still remember the time we were all trying to get really strategic about breaching this door and whatever, and then Phil did a Leroy Jenkins. He literally did a Leroy Jenkins, just walked right in. Just ruined everything. It was like, come on, Phil. He's like, well, I didn't know. I was like, okay, Phil, come on. It's this guy.
Everybody's on comms. Everyone's being very clear in their communication. You got one rogue agent.
Oh, man. Yeah, rogue agent. There it is. But now, let's get to that game loop now, Tom.
All right. Well, unlike being a SWAT officer, here I have take a walk in the boots of a patrol officer. Let's see what I did there. Writing tickets and completing your assigned shifts.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that is the game loop for sure. I walk around and dispense justice by any means necessary.
I don't know what game you were playing.
We both have clearly two different ways of dealing justice to our society.
Yeah. Mine was far more mellow. No citizens were harmed in the making of my hour.
Well, honestly, you were missing out. Now, let's get to the things that we liked about this game.
Okay, so for out of the gates, this is a simulation game, right? So simulation games tend to be pretty technical. And I appreciate that the game gave you a warning if you tried to put this on simulation mode. And it basically said, if this is the first time you're playing this, you really need to be playing this on casual. So a lot of times, as an experienced video game player, you might be offended by the concept of playing something on casual. But it basically says, we're really not going to hold your hand too much here. So you really should start slow and tune it up as you go.
Yeah, I agree. It was nice that they did that, but I guess we'll kind of talk about it in our dislikes here.
All right, yep.
But yeah, it was cool that they gave you that warning, but then you're dropped into, hey, you kind of have a semi customization.
Yeah, you do.
You have several, you have a male and female cop, but then there's different ethnicities for each cop, and they have names and they have bios, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of playing Clue or something, where it's you get to pick a character.
Yeah.
but all the characters are kind of fully formed. Like you don't have to make the character. The character exists, but you're getting, between the two genders and whatever, you probably have 8 or 9 choices. I don't remember.
I think you're right.
How many it is.
Yeah. So I think that was cool. And then like, I was just pretty impressed with like kind of the depth of this game. I mean, yes, I get it's a simulation or whatever, so they have to get pretty deep with the kind of the mechanics, but it was still kind of like, we've played a couple of simulation games, and this didn't feel like it was shallow in that sense. Like I felt like you really do need to be a cop in terms of like observing everyone. And like even the first thing you do, right? You're like you said, you're doling out parking tickets, but it's like, but you have to go look at the license plate, see that the license plate's expired, or see if the car is like off the sidewalk a bit too far, or on top of the sidewalk. Like these things you really have to like you can't like I was when I first started playing the game, I was just running around. I was running around, but this is not a game that you should be running around. You really need to just walk the beat, and experience it and see what the heck is going on in your world. Because if you run around in this game, you will definitely miss a lot of things, and then you might have a stinky shift. So, just something that I thought was pretty cool. What else did you like about this?
I'm learning as I'm playing. Because it did a very much like that was a boo-boo, and it said, and this is why, right? So like you got merits for acting correctly. Like let's say you wrote a ticket on a car, right? If the car warranted getting a ticket, you got like a little, like a little gold star, and the game said, yep, that car deserved a ticket. You did that right. But if you gave a ticket and you shouldn't have ticketed that car, you get a little demerit, and then you can look at it and you can see why, and it's like, well, actually that was an undercover cop car, or, well, actually you didn't read, the when they can't park their sign. Today is Monday and there's no parking on Wednesday, so you can't just give them a ticket just cause. So I appreciated that. It really kind of taught you that you have to pay attention, that you really have to take it, quote unquote, seriously. While you're doing it. And you have a handbook that you can reference. It felt very like, this is a simulation that really does try to be as thorough and accurate and put you really in the shoes of the role in a very real way.
Yeah, for sure. I also thought, I don't know if they, 2022. If they got this from like the Spider-Man games, but like you can go and when people walk by, some of them will say hello. You can greet them back, be like, "Hey, how are you?" And like, be a friendly neighborhood police officer. And then that gives you there's 2 types of merits, I believe, right? There's like I think like community points of it, like basically like how you are treated in the community versus like how you're treated in like the police force. And like it was just kind of cool to see that it made the world feel a little bit more lived in. So especially if you're doing doling out tickets and stuff like that, like you might kind of want to have I feel some empathy for people.
So. You don't want all of your interactions with people to be negative. So, and I'm sure that's what the developers had in mind when they put that in there, where it's like, well, some people are happy that you're there. It's not just all the people who are on the receiving end of tickets.
Agreed. What else did you like about this?
I appreciate that you can adjust the shift length. You can change the difficulty on the fly. It gives you a lot of flexibility in how you play, maybe not for the first mission, but in later missions, you can kind of say, I'm not really crazy about that particular shift, or I want to play in this, this neighborhood versus that neighborhood. You have the ability to take a day off, and that will change which shifts,
are available or whatever.
So,
and I feel like also like you do have a progression system. So as you progress, you get new tools that you can use. Like I got the radar gun. So I was clocking cars as they drove by and things like that. So the game definitely feels like as you progress, things will open up for you to use, and you like a little
I
Batman.
don't really feel, at least not initially, I didn't feel overwhelmed. Perhaps because the first mission is just kind of go out there and write some tickets, some parking tickets.
Yeah.
And then like, the next mission, like you said, it's like, okay, well, now it's time to catch some speeders. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But you can continue to write tickets for bad parking
Yeah.
during that.
Because that's just part of the world, right? Like that's the kind of cool part about it. So
yeah, even while maybe your primary objective is some new thing, it doesn't mean you're not stopping other crimes as you witness them.
Right. Yeah.
So.
You're just adding layers, which I appreciate. They're adding layers on top of the complexity of the game, which, is usually a good thing to do. But
two other quick things, I think, for me, they have a waypoint system that allows you to navigate yourself at least back to the precinct, at the end of your shift.
Yeah.
And I thought that pathfinding, right, was pretty good. I was able to navigate and get back to the precinct pretty quick to end, go to the computer and end my shift.
Yeah.
And I will say that, like, grander scheme, big picture, I appreciate that it is a simulation and not just a very arcadey experience. It's not easy.
No.
And it shows you, really the challenges of being a police officer.
Absolutely.
Which I think a lot of people probably just take it for granted. It's like, these people are out there just throwing their weight around. And it's like, no, if you want to be good at this, you really have to pay attention and follow the handbook and know when you're supposed to do something and when you're not supposed to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just like even approaching someone and like, there was a situation where like this lady was like walking around drinking alcohol. Like she had open bottle. Yeah. And then I had to go up to her and be like, hey, look, I need to write you up. I have to have citation for this. And, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Then I was like, but that like I asked her for her ID, and then I saw that she had no gun permit. Then the game forced me to do a search, and she had a gun on her. So I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, there's just like things like that where you have to think about like these cops have to like deal with this on a day-to-day basis. So it's like, it's tough. It's tough. You have to make a judgment call like right there, whether to arrest someone or not. And I can see how that could be very, very, very tough to deal with. So all right, but now we got to get to our tough stuff and deal with our dislikes.
Yeah, they tried to sell me DLC before I started the game, Chris. You
really?
know how I feel about that. Yeah.
You got a pop-up? Interesting. I only saw so obviously there is a menu in the main screen with where it does say DLC. But when I noticed it was when like the loading screens would always just be plastered with the DLC. It's like, don't forget we have DLC, check it out and all this stuff. But the kind of crappy part about it was the image was overblown, so like a lot of it was cut off at the top and stuff like that, so it just looked kind of crappy. And speaking of crappy, this game looks pretty crappy.
Yeah,
it's aged very poorly. It looks like I'd say it's Bethesda ugly. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Like I was like, is this like a port from like someone? Is this a mod initially from Elder Scrolls? And they're like, oh, okay, well then we'll just like kind of like oh gosh, the game that we played. The Forgotten City.
Yeah.
But like that game looked better than this. And I was like, yikes. So it's a shame. Yeah, it was like, especially when you're playing, like, it was just like the characters just looked all janky. Yeah. Then you have like the cars, like animations just didn't look smooth.
Yeah.
Like when the cars are turning, it just felt very like, it just felt unpolished. Like when I was talking to people, you would see like you'd have the Bethesda kind of thing where other people just kind of walk in the background or get stuck behind them and stuff like that. Like, it was not great.
Yeah. I will say I didn't like that the subtitles don't match the dialogue. Oh. And it's one of those things where like the subtitles are, kind of forced on the screen. And they didn't line up. That drives me crazy. And that's a pet peeve, and I guess I wrote it down first because I encountered it first. But I think bigger picture, like writing parking tickets is incredibly boring.
Man,
it's not fun.
No,
I mean, I guess it wouldn't be in real life either.
It would no. Well, this is the thing that I got frustrated about. I think you and I put this in our notes. Like there was a pretty decent tutorial. Then like when I got to the part where I had to create a write a parking ticket. I just felt like the game was just like, no, figure it out now. I was like, what? It's like, check the handbook, and there's like a million things in the handbook. So you're just like digging through, which again, I guess that's part of the simulation. Like you talked about, it's part of the simulation. You probably would have to like look through your rule book day one just to make sure you're doing it right. But it was just like I knew that I had to focus. I had to hit the focus button to see the license plate. But then I was like, how do I actually write the ticket? And then I didn't realize that you have to walk up to the side of the car and then wait for the dialogue box for interact to show up for then you to interact and then write the ticket there. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
so I feel like I wasted a lot of time.
It definitely held your hand like in the early stages.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, now you go out on the street and you need to write parking tickets. And you're like, okay, cool. Where?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I guess just, and I misunderstood that there were like some car symbols on the map. And I was like, oh, I have to go where the car symbols are. But the car symbols are the patrol cars. Like they're not.
That's right. Yeah.
They're not the cars you need to ticket.
Right.
Like the cars you need to ticket just exist out in the world. Violating the law.
Exactly. Like, and that's
go
the thing.
find
Like,
them.
You have to like look very closely at these things. It's like, the game looks muddy and gross. So it's like, it's a lot of times you might just miss things because of that. So it's unfortunate, but I agree with you with the speeding section. It was not. Well, you said the ticketing section. I didn't like the speeding section because you have the gun, the radar gun, and then like when you're like by the time you clock them, they're already gone. Yep. And then so you have to like chase after them and be like, okay, now I can like write them up or whatever it is. And it's like, it was just frustrating, and like just walking around the whole neighborhood trying to look for this stuff, and it was just, it
shows you pretty quickly why beat cops, cops on the street are not writing moving violations, right?
Yeah,
you need a car. If somebody's in a car and they break the law, you need a car to stop the person who's breaking the law in a car.
I was chasing after him like a dog. I was like, it didn't work. It did not work. So it was a shame. It was a dang shame.
There was a car that was smoking in my playthrough. And I just stepped out into traffic, basically, because I was like, I mean, it's a simulation. Like, I guess if I get run over, Tom doesn't actually get killed.
Right.
Just virtual cop Tom does. And so I very boldly stepped in front of the vehicle to try to write the violation,
Yeah. And
I mean, I'm like, well, he's not going to run me over.
Well, and I think that was the other part of it. It was like, you have this, like, they say simulation, but then like, cars will go through people.
Yeah.
And like when it hits me, like nothing happened. But then like I was getting frustrated and I pulled out my my gun.
Yeah, your pistol.
My gun, and I shot the tire of a civilian. It immediately like pulled me from the day. It was like, your shift's over. It's like you got to start all over again. So
shots fired literally.
Shots fired literally. Yes. It was fun. Like that was kind of fun just to see what I could break the rules with. And like I know you mentioned the how the game kind of dings you or gives you points for what doing right. And it's just like a lot of times you'll get these pop-up notifications like, oh, someone's jaywalking. Oh, someone's littering. I'm like, wait, where? And it's like you have, if you don't look quickly enough, like they just disappear, and then you're like, oh, okay, well. And it's like the littering one, like how are you even supposed to know that? Because I don't even think that you could see the garbage on the floor either.
Yeah. Where's the litter?
So that was
I did catch somebody jaywalking, and I saw them do it.
Yeah.
So I pulled them aside, and I ended up letting them off with a warning, because that is something you can do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you can. But it's also funny, like if you stop them in the middle of the road, the cars just keep going. They just go through. It's like, oh man. Yeah. And that was the other part of it too. I felt like I don't know. I guess they took a page out of like Elden Ring's book or like the Souls games, because like there's no real pause in the game. Mm-hmm. Like when you go to the handbook, everything just keeps going. And when I mean everything, there's like the tutorial stuff pops up while you're in the handbook, and you're like, oh my God, like I can't. And like, it was like important stuff that I need to read, or I need to like get the context of with the world. And I have the handbook, but I have to like close the pop-up for the tutorial first to get back to the world. So it was just like, not great, Bob.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else you wanted to talk about here in dislikes?
Last thing I have here is walking is really slow, but when you run, it doesn't raise any kind of eyebrows or alerts from citizens. And I'll tell you what, if I see a police officer running, I am reacting as a civilian because I want to. He's either chasing somebody or being chased by someone, and either way, I as a civilian need to know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like games of like the first Hitman had people reacting to how you're doing things. Like if you're running around, people are staring at you and stuff like that. So it's like it's possible. It's been around for at least 20 years of reacting, like AI that reacts to that. So it's like, why didn't they do that for this game? Especially if it's a simulation, right? You would think that's important. And like, oh man, like I thought that like when you're talking to people, they would like have like facial like recognition, like in terms of like if you're seeing like they're lying about things and stuff like that.
Try to find a tell or a tick or something.
Like I mean, okay, LA Noire had a very intricate system, but like, you know, it could have been like a simpler version of that or something where you just like you ask them a question, they're like, well, and they just kind of look more shifty or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, cool. So then I guess we get to our other thoughts here.
Yeah, let's move on.
How Long to Beat says this game takes about 14 hours to complete.
Okay.
So not bad. You know, you could definitely get this done in a weekend or two.
Yeah.
If you really want to. This game does have Xbox Cloud saves, xCloud, and Xbox Play Anywhere capable. So play this anywhere you want. Because everything's an Xbox now.
Everything's an Xbox.
What do you got, Tom?
Speaking of ways in which one can play this game, like our previous game, there is multiplayer here. And you can do that either in a private, you know, just a Tom and Chris setting, or you can have it open, you know, and just play with randoms. This seems like it would be challenging to play with randoms because they may not be the best actors.
Yeah.
But maybe that will increase the reality of the simulation, wouldn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a paid expansion for this. No big surprise. We talked about it. It's Highway Patrol.
Oh.
So that seems like it might be interesting. Getting
like
behind.
Chips? We get a motorcycle? That'd be cool.
I'm down. At least it would move faster.
Maybe.
Different tasks that were not covered in my first hour, at least. There are traffic accidents that you have to respond to. There are drug deals that you have to interrupt. There are people who do graffiti that you need to catch red-handed, and you can cuff and arrest people, which I didn't experience, but apparently you have the way to do that, and then escort them back to the station and put them in a holding cell.
I did arrest someone.
All right.
I was near the end of my hour. I was like, let's just. I got this guy who he had a mohawk, looked suspicious. He was just walking down the street. I was like, let me see your ID, and like he's like, oh sure, officer. I looked at it. I was like, okay, fine. Let me frisk him. I frisked him, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna cuff him. So I cuff him. He's like, I don't understand. Why are you doing this? And then because my hour was up, I pulled out the gun and shot him, and the game was over at that point.
Oh my goodness!
So stupid. I'm sorry. No police brutality, please. I'm not condoning that. But yeah. Cool. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No. Good to know. Okay, so Chris tested it for you, so it's he can verify that is factually accurate.
Don't shoot people. Okay.
The developer is located in Munich, Germany.
Oh,
so that's interesting. And apparently they seem to really like making games about horses. That's where a lot of their, like, there's a lot of equestrian games in their past.
Interesting.
And they've done a lot of VR games. So I don't know how that leads to being, you know, police simulator, but no, that's what they did before this. So if you're interested in horse simulators or VR games, you know, check it out.
Fair enough. I mean, I could see the pedigree from the horse games because people look like horses. They just look hideous, man. Anyway, I'm sorry, Aesir. I'm kidding. But you know, hopefully your next time at it, you can do better. Anyway, so Tom, we need to find out, Are we keeping this game on our respective hard drives, or are we, oh man, I feel like anything I say would be used against me in the court of law. So please just continue.
Sometimes pleading the fifth is the right option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one feels way too much like a job to me. I mean, probably because it's the simulator for a job. I mean, it makes sense why it feels that way, right?
Yeah.
I think it was interesting to play for an hour, and I would say, yeah, maybe if you're interested in giving it a shot, yeah, go for it. But I am glad it was only an hour.
Yeah. Oh man, I have to echo your sentiment here. Look, it was kind of funny just to see the boundaries I could push or not push in this case. But man, I got bored pretty quickly with this game. The stuff that you talked about seems exciting, but it's like I'm sure you have to like build your rep in the police force to get to that. And I get it, but it was just like, I don't think I have the will to do that for this game. So
there is a whole lot of kind of waiting around.
Yeah.
Or just walking around with your head on the swivel, which I suppose is, I would assume, most of a patrol officer's job is probably just walking around looking for stuff that is amiss.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's, I don't know. No thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful for the people that do it in real life.
Yes.
But also grateful I'm done playing this game. So those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Blue Sky at 1H1D, on Threads and Twitter at TC1H1D, or check out our next streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D, or shoot us an email at tc1h1d@gmail.com. And hey, you may be watching this on YouTube, and if you are, maybe send us a comment down below. And is there a simulator game that you enjoy that doesn't feel like a chore? That'd be kind of interesting to know.
Yeah.
So, and maybe also leave us a like on there, or in Spotify, or however you're listening to this too. So yeah, but 1H1D is part of that QTB network. If you like any game, 1H1D is part of that. Try that again. 1H1D is part of that QTB network. And if you like any great gaming content, please check it all out at quitthebill.com/network. Now, Tom.
Yes, Chris.
Now we need to know, what is the game that precedes this? No, not precedes this. The sequel of this game.
Get our fix for 236.
There you go. That's a good one. Get our fix for 236 using the surprise me button. So here we go. Okay. Lost in Random, The Eternal Die. Tom.
Smells like a sequel, Chris.
It is. It's a game that we've played before. We've played the initial game. Now we're playing its sequel.
I can only think of, probably on my one hand, the number of times we've played games in order. So it sounds great, Chris.
Yes, it is. So that's our next game. And that is it for this episode. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.